Hi guys, welcome back to another video. We have a 2015 Opel Vauxhall Astra, whatever we want to call it, and from another garage they got a phone call. They've done an engine change, but after doing the engine change they can't get this thing going. You can see where it's been, stuff has been marked, labelled, tagged, whatever you want to call it. He actually said to me that he believed no crank position or crank position fault codes. He also said that he had fuel pressure issues. Now we have over here, just trying to scan through on it fast, and I have fuel pressure regulator performance. We have engine oil pressure control circuit. We created this just a few minutes ago. We'll just give a look in there. One of the lads that's working for me just unplugged the yoke and we heard a beep inside it, so this was from us, okay? This is not, and we have no crank sensor fault, but we're going to have to do a little bit of digging and see what we find. What it would make you think is, why did it need the engine in the first place? What's happening? Was it a non-start, and is that why they're changing? I don't know. In the last couple of days I'm seeing a lot of, dare I say, bad workmanship. I don't like knocking or any of that crack, and I'm not the most clean, whatever you want to call it, strategically done or workable kind of a man. I don't know what way I'm even phrasing that, but I like stuff to be kind of right. If you take an engine out, put it back in as it should be, no wire change in your engine. Have it pinpointed to what. Maybe there was. Could have been a head gasket gone. I've done them on there recently myself, and a Mini pulled a dipstick up and out came water. So I don't know what the story is behind this, but he has an engine change and it's done, fixed. But just little bits hanging around the place and stuff. When we go in, we're going to have a look and just see what's happening here. You've turbo changed on it, but this was all part, I think, of the package that they had gotten. So I'd say this might be a little bit interesting. Crank sensor. We have actually looked, on live data, we have looked and we have no engine speed. Okay? Could show you, but for now, and just take my word, there is no engine speed. When I'm going into parameters and look at engine speed, I have no signal coming from it. So we're going to go and we're going to try and find the crank sensor. Also, I have found inside in the car, I don't actually know where it is at this point, but there is a crank sensor, we believe, thrown around somewhere as well. Right, I'll let you know how we go. Okay guys, when I went routing, I had, as I said there, that second crank sensor that I've just plugged into it, okay? The violet wire is a 5-volt power feed, the black in the middle is the ground, and the green is the signal. Now, okay guys, crank sensor is hanging there, it's only wedged. It's very hard to get in at where it is, so I'm not going to be trying to, so I have it out and just wedged into place and we can see out of there now. I'm back probing a violet wire. See if I can get you down. Hard to see it. Back probing the violet wire anyway, which I believe is a 5-volt power feed. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to load test that just to make sure it's able to carry a bit of load. So I have my test light on it, and I'm going to touch my test light off of. So with my light, you can actually see, I'm going to see my lighting. So light off, 5 volts, 4.9 volts. Light on. You can actually see it lighting here. So load testing of that is good. What is phasing me here is a little bit, according as I was doing it. I was getting movement of my throttle body, which I should get some kind of crack happening when I send a signal down to my signal wire. So the green one, ground is actually, no, it's actually millivolts. Right, we're going to go then, I'm going to move my test light from, I'm going to load test the ground. I'm going to go from battery negative to battery positive, and I'm going to try and make that light, and I don't want any fluctuations on my 300 millivolts. Okay, and I'm going to touch, so I'm after moving my test lead from the violet to the green, sorry, the black, which is in the middle, and that should, I'm going to say it should light my test light, but it didn't light my test light. So if it didn't light my test light,
Now verify our connections. Actually, I'm going to go. Ooh. Okay, so you can see we have something. Oh gosh, lots of moving the wrong items, crocodile clips and stuff everywhere. Okay, so my test equipment is on wrong. So I'm going from battery positive now. Right, my test light is lighting now. And if it stayed on and didn't fall off, I should have this light should light. Okay. Options. My pin in correct. This is me now trying to push it in a bit further. Okay, we're going in a bit further this time. You know our test light is working. Our lighting. She's auto ranging. It's actually quite potentially high. Okay, now we have a good ground, okay? So the only other one then is the signal wire. She is at 5 volts again, and it's pull down circuitry. So that means the engine ECU is sending 5 volts out as far as the crank sensor, wanting the crank sensor to pull it to 0 volts intermittently. Okay, so I'm going to go from, where am I going? I'm going to go from battery negative. I'm going to go from battery negative through my test light again and onto our signal wire. So we are actually going to be grounding this now. So this should be pulling to 0. Yes, when I done it. Okay. Okay, we'll get a scan tool running and just see if we can see a change on live data while we are manipulating the signal wire to see what we wanted to see. Just we're going to have a look and just without the scope and that, I'm going to see if the engine speed changes via me playing with this thing and seeing if we can create some kind of an engine speed signal. It's all starting to look like sensor at this point in time. What I done, this is not going to be, yeah look, I didn't set this up. Anyway, I ran a spanner without getting the spanner, I ran a spanner over the top of the signal and I could get no signal from it. I was only just using that little stupid power probe scope, but I could get no signal when I was running the spanner over it, okay? Now, what I've done here is I've left the jumper cable into the signal wire that was plugged in to this yoke. I have my live data running. I'm looking at engine speed, okay? So engine speed sitting here, and there's a graph here. I'm going to put it all in shot actually. I have that jumper cable just to prove I've looked at wiring diagrams and the wires are in the right place and all that kind of stuff, but the signal wire is a 5 volts now. Being a pull down circuitry, it's looking for the sensor to pull it to 0 volts, okay? So I've this, and just in order for me to prove my wiring is intact as far as the engine ECU, I'm going to touch this off of ground while we're looking at our RPM signal, okay? So I don't know if you can see. And that's me creating a signal, okay? It's not going to be clean, it's not going to be nice. Our pressure goes, sorry. But you can see that I created it, okay? Get what's happening here? I don't want to call it a sensor because he has 2 of them fitted. We have a signal coming as far as there. Either my spanner is wrong or my signal wire from the engine ECU, which gives me 5 volts, is not charged to a power. It is intact getting back as far as the engine ECU, and I can make the signal do what I want. So the sag will continue, okay? Okay guys, we have a new crank shaft position sensor got, okay? I have it sitting in situ. Okay, probably should be looking at it. This is me anyway, just running my spanner over it. There's engine speed. There's engine speed, but while I'm running my spanner over it, I have no change in it. So I'm believing that's just because I plugged in and played. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to fault codes, raise codes, yes. It says turn the ignition on and off. You know me anyway, don't be great at doing that. Okay. Okay, so we have, I don't know, again, if we can see it, we have no fault codes there. I'll go back to parameters again and just see what I don't want to see. I don't know if that's they're doing anything for me. Look. Engine blue and load. I have engine speed. No change in anything here now at this point. Not very clear right now. Why do I have no change in my engine speed? Okay guys, with the spanner running it over the crank sensor, I could not create a signal. Okay, so now the question is, have I called it wrong? Have I ordered a crank sensor for this thing at nearly €100 and been wrong? So then I start delving into wiring integrity and all that. I plug out the ECU, and I done an ohms test, which I wouldn't probably be huge on, but I done an ohms test between point A and crank sensor wiring point B. So had good continuity with my ohms meter. Now that wasn't saying that they were good. So what I done then is I load tested as well. So I actually put a jumper cable from point A to, as in the block, to the actual crank sensor when it was disconnected, and then back probing pins here with the block disconnected off the ECU. I was running a test light from battery positive to the ECU, through the wiring, down with the jumper cable, jumped in, up onto ground, and would light my test light. So I've load tested the three wires in there as well, okay? Then also I was getting misleading information because the Snap-on was telling me that number 1 was my signal wire, 3 was my 5-volt reference, and then number 2 was my ground. Autodata, which I'll put up a screenshot, was telling me the opposite. As I said there, subscription fee at €1,000, the Autodata being at €1,000, it's kind of pricey for them to be giving you misleading information like that. So what I've done is I tried to create my own, identify myself. So what I have is on pin number 1, that's number 1 at the crankshaft position sensor, the wire is blue. I can load test it there, and it lights my test light going from battery negative to the actual 5-volt reference. It lights my test light. So, and I'm doubting everything here. And then back at pin 83 at the ECU, again, I had an arrow down there. That's incorrect. I can load test it there. It lights my test light. Okay. Now, I go then from battery positive to my ground wires at the crankshaft position sensor, and it lights. So load tested good. Same thing at the engine ECU. My test light lights from battery positive to ground, so that I'm load testing that, and both of them I'm deeming good. Then when I go to what I'm deeming as my signal wire right now, number 3, which the Autodata is correct, I'm saying I can pull the 5-volt signal wire down. So if I can pull it down, I'm suggesting that that's my signal wire. Okay? So number 3, it puts a little bit of confusion in it, because when you see misleading information, all of a sudden you kind of go, whoa, where am I going? What am I doing? My test process is wrong. And you start getting all, I would anyway, frizzly headed, and you're like, oh, what am I doing? I'm going wrong. But here's where I'm standing right now. From what I see in my tests, number 3, according to my diagram, is my signal wire. Okay. Now, what's really bothering me is I cannot, intermittently I can, but I kind of cannot create my own signal
through the sensor. That's why I called it sensor. I can go jumper cable from the signal wire to battery negative and just tip it on it, as you see in the video earlier, but I can't do it through the sensor. Hence, I call it a sensor. Sensor's in it. The sensor didn't do anything for it. Now, what's really strange here, where I'm standing, I'm deeming my wiring good. My test process is not very good because I can't make the sensor give me a signal, or at least not a clean one. I'd like to put a spanner in front of it somewhere at some stage and make that 5 volts pull to ground, but I can't do it. Whether it's a fancier kind of a sensor or what. The sensor now came from main dealer as well, the new one, so it's not sensor at this point in time. All I do know at this point in time is my wiring integrity is right, but I can't create a signal with the crank sensor, so all day long I'd call it crank sensor again. Is something not rotating inside there that should be? Variables. We'll have to keep on going. Yeah, just to show you before I shut it down, I have 3 channels going here. I have them all, sorry about the glare, have them all kind of lined up in the same place. There's the green channel is the ground wire, and then I have a blue and a yellow stuck in there together, okay? Using my test light going from battery negative over, and I'm actually going to ground my signal wire, okay? So you can see the yellow trace is staying running there, the blue is gone down, the blue is popping up and down. Now probably should, okay, separate them slightly. Right, to show there's the, actually you can see them separated there. So back onto my green wire. My green wire is the blue channel, I'm putting it down, okay? Sorry, the violet wire then is the opposite one, and that's actually, when I'm going on to that, it's lighting my test light, okay? You can see that happening there, okay? So that's just my wiring integrity intact. Okay guys, armed with the information that I have, I'm after going in from that picture. I saw on YouTube a picture of where the flywheel will bolt on. But this is my Boroscope image there, and I believe that right there, that tone ring should be. It'd be hard with these things to get good clear images, but I'm going to take, and then I guess this crack happens then when you start seeing God knows what. But if I'm coming back out of the hole, you can see that looks like that's where the actual tip of the sensor goes in, but I have nothing in there. Nothing in there that's going to give me any clean, and or I have to say, like, it does be quite awkward and hard to try and see anything. I'm going to turn my engine. Okay, engine turning. Whoop. Creakers. You can actually see the flywheel turning there, and you can see the shiny bit inside. Okay, no tone ring. Problem found and resolved. Well, not resolved, but found. Right now, demon pickup ring is wrong. I'm going to have to get it sent around every pat on this thing. I'm after getting slapped from side to side, but there is no tone ring in there. I can't show you on the camera now, but there is no tone ring in there. Pull a gearbox out of it. Get this thing, let you see it, okay? Hopefully. Talk to you soon, guys. I'm going to contact the man to change the engine and just see would he have one of these tone rings on the other engine. Hopefully. They're talking about 3 or 4 days to order off the main dealer. Anyway, look, here goes. Hopefully we'll be able to bring it to a head and show you, okay? Alright guys, I don't know if you're going to recognise gearbox subframe on my white Astra. Gearbox out. There's the picture that I got from eBay last night. I rang your man and I went in and picked up off the other engine. We're just at pulling the flywheel out. You can see
rust on the crankshaft, and that yoke sits on there somewhere. I do see some bit of a shard of steel here, so I better get rid of that. Yes, and that's what's stopping us. I'm actually on wrong there now, but that's what's stopping us, guys. And the other funny thing to look at, starter motor. You can't take a starter motor out of one of these without pulling the gearbox out. Bolt, bolt. And I don't know about that bolt. No, I'd say that's not doing nothing, but them two. Lucky you guys. Anyway, this is going to be the resolve of our problems. I'm just showing there that we sat in the sensor in just to show, and there's the ring sitting on it. Oh, the guys. Okay. He runs. He took a tow in order for it to start. But at this point we are going. We have that fuel pressure fault code, which I'm going to have to get back onto the garage that I got it off of and see if you want me to go and do it. And we also have a pretty robust or bad water leak somewhere in around underneath the intake manifold or throttle body or whatever. But at this point she's going. Yay. Hi guys, right, she's running at this point in time. A fuel regulator relearn is what resolved our little fuel pressure issue. That is done. It's on the button there, starting and driving. I've been talking to your man about it, and the water leak, he said, have a look. He said he just has enough of it and he'd go and have a look. So we're going to have a look. Not going to show it on this video. I have enough of recording little bits on this one, and I'm probably long-winded enough at this point in time. So what I'm going to do right now is maybe I'll put a picture or something at a later stage or something, but I don't think a water leak is going to bother any of you. The moral of this story is between diagnosing, taking the gearbox out, putting in that tone ring, bolting it back together, crank sensor that I changed, the whole lot of it is kind of mounting to, maybe I shouldn't be, but I'm going to do it anyway. It's a whole lot is mounting to €800, okay, on my part for fixing of this, okay, without the water leak. Who absorbs that? So the garage man, I know he paid €1,500 for an engine, and then what would you quote for fitting an engine? €1,000, 2.5 grand. So all the work they done, in theory, done for free, because they're going to be spending the bones of €1,000 on fixing it right now. I don't know, kind of a funny game, isn't it? You know, mechanics, you can only do your best. The moral of the story is just pay attention to the detail. It's the detail that'll catch you. And the deeper in it is, like that inside in the gearbox, the more it's going to cost you. And the same for this little water leak. It's probably only some clip, some pipe, some bolt, something left off, but it's in a very hard to get at place, and it's buried underneath an intake manifold or something like that. I can't even see it. Anyway, guys, look, yeah, thanks for watching. If any of my hints and tips are any use to you, please like and subscribe to my channel. Peter is my name, and Kennedy's Garage signing out until the next cartoon, boys. Thank you very much, and thanks for watching.